There's our plan.
There. Look,
called FOC.
Is it in there? Can you see through my shirt?
Yes.
Kind of, sort of. So
John
weird.
wore green.
I
the
did.
Big no on green screens.
Oops.
That's all right.
So sue me.
I can see the past.
See the menus.
Past FOC roundups in your.
It's like I've got a hole through my chest. Welcome everybody. It's Friday, and that means it's time for our weekly Final Order Cutoff show. I'm John.
I'm Dom.
We're here to talk to you about the comics that are on Final Order Cutoff this coming Monday. So for those of you that don't know, if you haven't watched this show before, we like to walk you through all of the books that we have to FOC. So FOC, Final Order Cutoff, that's our last chance to adjust our numbers on the comics before they ship out to us. And it's something that is super important. We take a very, very calculated look at things. Especially now, it's been the return to opening the store has been very positive thanks to you guys coming out and supporting the shop. But it's still, there's a ton of unknown going on, with, is there going to be a relapse? Is the state going to get shut down again?
Right.
Is it? So we're being very kind of calculated and reserved in terms of what we're ordering for the rack, which makes it very important for you to let us know what you would like to order so that we can make sure we have a copy for you, so that you're not walking into the store to shop the rack like Thor number 5 this week. Perfect example. Thor number 5 came out on Wednesday. We've been tracking sales on it. We have enough copies for all of our subscribers, so if you're subbed to Thor, we got you. But I think we ended up with like 2 copies of the main cover and maybe 1 copy of the zombie variant to go out on the rack, and those were gone on Wednesday. And now Thor number 5 is like a $15 book on eBay because it's got some first appearance and it has something to do with Null and Venom and all the symbiote things. So if you are wanting a copy of Thor number 6, let us know. Put it on your pull so that you will. We always have enough copies, barring damages or shortages from Diamond, and that's another thorn in our side. But we always satisfy the hold slot customers first, and any excess that we had from our order goes on the rack for the people to come in and grab off of the shelf. So if you are concerned that you might not get something because you don't come in on Wednesday, let's say you come in on Saturday, there's no copies of Thor out there on the floor. So put it on your pull, add it to your subscription so that we can make sure that we have copies available for you. Right. That's what's important. That's the trying to drive that home with this show. So okay, let's get into it here. All the stuff that we're going to talk about is on FOC this Monday, June 29th. Most of the titles are in store on July 22nd. Let me take one more second here to tell you we are changing the way that we are doing FOC, and we are now requesting that you have your orders in by 11 a.m. on Monday the 29th. We're still trying to do the stream sale on Monday, like we have been while we've been closed. And that's getting increasingly more difficult when people are sending their FOC orders at 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock, because the show is technically 4 to 7. So we are moving our cutoff for FOC up to 11 a.m. That way, when I come in on Monday morning, I can sit down at the computer, I can go through all the stuff, I can do my FOC with Diamond, and I can do my FOC with Lunar, and then we can get prepped and ready for the show at 4 o'clock, because it's just not working. We had to extend or postpone the show till 5 o'clock this Monday. We canceled the last one the week before. It's too difficult with all of the requests coming in to pull a single copy of this and this and this, because those items are no longer in Comic Suite, which is the software that we use to manage subscribers. So it's all having to be transferred to an Excel file to keep track of things, and it's just too time consuming. So we are moving our cutoff for FOC to 11 a.m. on Monday the 29th, and that's what it's going to be going forward. So if you can't get me your order by Friday afternoon, all day Saturday, all day Sunday, or early Monday morning, I don't know how to help you. That's why we do it. Yeah, that's why we try to get you the tools that you need. I mean, we're getting this stuff out there 10 o'clock on Friday, an hour before we open the store. So anyhow, I'm going to get off my soapbox now. If you would like to subscribe to anything that you see that's on FOC, please comment sub and the title, and we will add that to your subscription so that you don't miss an issue of the sequential comics. If you're concerned about commitment and you just want to pull a copy so that if you got commitment issues and you just want to pull a copy so that is safe and sound for you in your hold slot, that's okay. You can do that too. Please comment pull with the title, the cover that you would prefer if there are covers available, and how many copies you would like to order. Okay, so title, cover, quantity, and that's for anything that we go over in this show. So we're going to kick it off first with DC in stores on July 22nd. We've got Batman number 95. This is technically the start of the Joker War. There's been a bunch of prelude stuff going on. Of course, the phone will ring right now. But this 95 to 100 is the Joker War story arc. And we're going to talk about some tie-ins coming up very soon. It was always going to come down to this. The Clown Prince of Crime and the Dark Knight Detective go head-to-head for the last time. That implies that one of those two is no longer going to be around. Sure. The Joker has never wanted to win before. He's never wanted his battle with Batman to end, but now his motivation has shifted. He has decided that one way or another, this will be the final chapter to their story. Joker War begins here. Main cover on my side is by Tony Daniel. The variant cover is fantastic by Francesco Mattina. On FOC this Monday and in stores July 22nd. Okay? There's a lot of Bat stuff from DC this week.
So I thought that was all the same covers.
Gotcha. This is Batgirl number 47, which is a tie-in to the Joker War.
Really?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Knock, knock. Who's there? The Joker. The Joker who? The Joker who's here to have a nice chat with Barbara Gordon. If you don't know about the interaction with Joker and Barbara, I feel sorry for you. You need to pick up a copy of Killing Joke. Don't miss this devastating tie-in to Joker War. The main cover on my side is by Giuseppe Camuncoli. The variant cover on Dom's side is by Terry Dodson with Joker and Batgirl butt to butt.
Throwback to Emperor.
Yeah, it looks like the Emperor Joker covers that they did way back in the late 90s. Next from DC is Detective Comics 1024, also a Joker War tie-in. The story of Two-Face reaches its end, and Harvey Dent will at last find peace after decades of schism. But will that peace be in death or in the chance at a new life? All along, the Joker has been the puppet master behind the torment of Two-Face, and he knows how to make an entrance. Don't miss the final battle between Batman, Two-Face, and Lincoln March, with a shocking conclusion that will split you right in two. So Joker or Batman's gonna die. Batman or Two-Face is gonna. It sounds like there's a lot of deaths. Tynion's got a lot of deaths planned. Batgirl might not make it out, or maybe he's gonna cripple her again. I don't know what's happening. Main cover on my side is by Brad Walker. Variant cover on Dom's side is by Lee Bermejo, just punching the lights out of Joker. Pretty solid.
He enjoys it.
Yes.
He likes it rough.
That's right. Next, finally from DC in stores. This one's in stores on July 28th. We've got DC Cybernetic Summer #1. This is just a one-shot. This is their typical summer $10 100-page big old book.
They're always fun, too.
They are fun. Rub some sunscreen on your circuits because DC's favorite cyborgs are hitting the beach. That doesn't sound like a smart idea.
Social distancing, John.
No, they are not. There's too many people on that cover altogether. Although I wouldn't mind being in that Jeep with Harley and Wonder Woman.
Look at Bats. He's right there.
I know.
I'll drive.
In this sizzling summertime special, Harley and Cyborgman conquer a truly titanic water slide. Cyborg Superman and Cyborg Superman find it difficult to have a conversation, much less a fight, and Batman tries everything to escape a summer cookout, even taking on the omnipotent Brother Eye and his newly infectious Omax. And it's not just the cyborgs hitting the surf. Flashes from across the multiverse gather for a race to claim the title of fastest speedster in the multiverse. That sounds pretty cool. Mercury Flash from Earth 44 is out to win it all this year. and he's the only and the only person standing in his way is Barry Allen. Red Tornado's on a camping trip with his wife Kathy and his daughter Treya, but he's distracted by Justice League matters. When a great threat emerges, will Red Tornado be able to protect his family? The cover is by Dan Mora of Once and Future and Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. There is an entire list of all of the stories and who is writing and drawing them. And again, this is $9.99. It's $10. It's an 80-page prestige format one-shot. These are always fun.
They are fun.
But because it's just a one-shot, it's something that we have to pull only for you. You can't subscribe to these things. So,
yeah. It's kind of like that old Silver Age silliness
yes,
we
absolutely.
put into these. I like it.
I love that the Jeep is made out of the Metal Men,
Yes.
which is fantastic.
I was wondering if that's what that was.
It's awesome. It's good stuff right there. So DC's Cybernetic Summer #1. Okay. From IDW this week, you guys remember this little fella? He is back again with a Clockwork Fairies one shot, and he is going to have a new mini series that's going to come out later on this summer. But this is just a little, just
one shot,
just to tide you over for the time being. Critically acclaimed fan favorite Kanto returns. David M. Booher, Drew Zucker, Vittorio Astoni, and Darren Bennett return to Kanto's world following the brave Clockwork hero as he leads his people out from their home in Arcana to find somewhere and something new. When Kanto encounters a group of captured fairies, it's up to him to liberate them, but can he do it without being captured himself? Find out in this one-shot bridging the hit miniseries and the second arc coming later this summer. That is the main cover right there. There's a couple.
Hopefully they don't come in damaged.
Yeah. Hopefully IDW figured out their printing things, because the first copies of these that we got had horrible bends all along the spine.
Every single one.
All from the printer. Here we go.
No, this one's
This
exciting.
next one was I
exciting.
used this next one as our title image from IDW, the crossover everyone's been waiting for. My Little Pony Transformers
There you
#1
go.
4-issue miniseries. When Queen Chrysalis casts a spell looking for more changelings, she accidentally interferes with a malfunctioning space bridge. What's this mean for our favorite fillies? There are suddenly a bunch of Autobots and Decepticons in Equestria, and as the dust settles, Rarity and Archie find themselves teaming up against a hostile Decepticon force.
I like this.
My
I
Little
like
Pony
this,
Transformers. Dom's in. I know Jason Balish is like, when is this coming out? I wanted to give me the Transformers ponies. So if you're a Brony fan, or if you are a Transformers, roll out with My Little Pony Transformers.
I can't believe the mashup they did.
Friendship in disguise.
I'm not your friend.
That's right.
I'm not your friend. This one cover?
There is just one cover. There's a couple of incentives, but I didn't put those up because we try not to feature those because I don't know that we'll qualify for them.
Right.
So that's why. There's just the one. Finally, from IDW, we've got the TMNT 2020 Annual. So rather than having a series of annuals that are #1, #2, #3 every year, IDW likes to do theirs by the year. So this is 2020 Annual. The war is over, the dragon is destroyed, the city is saved, but at what cost? Splinter is gone, spoiler alert. The turtles are in disarray, and Shredder has returned. But all is not as it seems, as the turtles' most feared enemy struggles with this new opportunity to regain his honor. Meanwhile, a nearly decimated Foot Clan belongs to Karai. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but can she truly rise to the task in the shadow of its greatest warrior? And how does a newly changed Leatherhead fit into a post-mutation NYC? Main cover is by Adam Gorham. There is also a variant cover by Kevin Eastman. Leatherhead's got Krang in his belly on that cover, which is unsettling. These are $5.99, even though it says $3.99 on the cover. That's wrong because they're bigger. They're prestige format, square bound. So if you're subscribed to Turtles, we'll put you on for this, no problems. If you'd just like to pick up a copy because you've been reading the rest of it, let us know. Okay. From Image this week, this is pretty cool. This is a new mini-series from the team behind the hit comic Coyotes, returning for an all-new 2-arc maxi series. There's a drug called Bliss wiping away memories in Pharaoh City. A good-hearted young... What?
He's dead.
I know, right? It's like a... I need one of those drugs just so I can veg out in a pool of...
Can you go pick up something, John?
You gotta go get the kids. A good-hearted young man overwhelmed by a deathly sick child and distraught wife makes a deal to become the personal hitman to 3 gods, killing those in their way and sending memories down the river of oblivion in exchange for his family's well-being. Breaking Bad meets Neil Gaiman's Sandman in an urban fantasy unlike anything you've ever seen. Written by Sean Lewis with art by Caitlin Yarsky. And if you haven't checked out their run on Coyotes, do that because that book is fantastic. And I believe that it has been optioned. So, Bliss, number 1 of 8, little 8-issue miniseries coming out from Image. Next from Image.
Oh, what's this?
Yeah, that's right.
This one's back.
Chew, but not spelled the same way.
No.
And no Rob Guillory doing the interior artwork. This is the First Course, Part 1. If you haven't read Chew from Image, do so. I want to say that there's like 12 volumes. It is fantastic. If you're looking for satirical comics, you can't beat it. Part 1. Tony Chew is a Cibopath, able to get psychic impressions from what he eats. Saffron Chew is a Cibopars, able to learn secrets from who she eats with. That's terrifying. Tony is a cop, Saffron is a criminal. They are brother and sister, and they are on a collision course. Spitting out of the multiple Eisner Award-winning and New York Times best-selling series CHEW comes CHU, a felonious new food noir about cops, crooks, cooks, and clairvoyance. It sounds absolutely absurd, but it's a blast to read. So check out the original Chew, and then get yourself on this new Chew number 1. Who keeps calling?
I don't know.
That's 3 phone calls in the...
It's probably the same person, too.
I know it's not...
German bookstore for CGC.
I can't wait for this next one. This next one is possibly one of my favorite comic books ever published. And if anybody comes in looking for recommendations, I always point them towards this book. Low is back, finally. It's the final story arc of Low with issue 23. The story arc is called Light Brings Light. It's written by Rick Remender. The art is by Greg Ticini. Again, if you haven't read this, there's only 3 volumes, so it's not a lot of heavy reading, but I try to keep them in stock all the time because it is beautiful. Salus rises, the Burnt Legion attacks. I know this sounds ridiculous if you haven't been paying attention or reading with it. Stell Kane faces the greatest challenge to her hope yet, the rage of her daughter, the helmswoman Della. It all leads to these final 4 issues, lovingly rendered by legendary art team Greg Ticini and Dave McCaig. Cover A on my side is by Ticini. Cover B on Dom's side is by Mahmoud Asrar, who's been doing, I think he was doing Champions and maybe Miles Morales. So it's a beautiful read. It's all about family and how much you can pile on to one person before they break. So check out Low. Low number 23 is back in stores July 22nd. From Marvel this week, you ready? Oh, let's do some stretches.
Here we go.
Oh, first off, we have a one-shot, Amazing Spider-Man, Sin's Rising Prelude number 1. Who is the Sin Eater, and why is it so terrifying that he's back? Nick Spencer pulls back the curtain on one of the most dangerous Spidey villains in history. We will not only reveal more of Sin Eater's secret history, but put him on a collision course with Spider-Man that will have you quaking in your seat. $4.99 for this one-shot. The main cover on my side is by Ryan Otley. The variant cover on Dom's side is by Boss Logic. If you're on Amazing Spider-Man, we will have a copy of this waiting for you because this Sin's Rising story arc is going to take place in the main ASM title. So, if you're not subscribed to ASM, do it now, and then let us know that you would like a copy of this one-shot. All right, here we go. Head to desk. Okay, because of the COVID shutdown, Marvel is now... So Marvel has been releasing comics every other week. They've been doing comics and then trades and then comics and then trades. July 1st sees Marvel return to weekly comic book shipments, which sounds great until you run into this. Because all of a sudden, Empire, which was a 6-issue miniseries, is basically coming out weekly now. And that's a nightmare. So we talked about Empire #1 that was on FOC last week. Here we go. Here, if you're all in for Empire, get ready. You're going to have a lot of stuff to pay attention to. From Marvel this week, and all of this stuff I can't reiterate is in stores July 22nd. So there's like 4 Empire things that are going to be in stores July 22nd. The first of which is Empire Avengers #1, 3-issue miniseries. So this is the first, even though issue 0 came out this week.
Right.
I don't know how that fits in. With the threat from the stars now reaching Earth, Captain America sends out the call for heroes to meet its advance across the globe. But in the far-off Antarctic savage land, Khazar and the agents of Wakanda have located an enemy offensive that could change the course of the conflict. Which Avengers will answer the call to this remote area, and will they be able to cope with the strangeness they find there? Main cover on my side is by Steve McNiven. Variant cover on Dom's side is by Kim Jacinto. So this 3-issue miniseries is taking place in the Savage Lands with not the regular Avengers, kind of the ragtag, whoever's left over kind of Avengers, including Khazar and the agents of Wakanda. So Empire Avengers #1 of 3. All right? Next, Empire X-Men #1 of 4. Also in stores on July 22nd. Plant people from outer space have come to Earth, and wouldn't you know it, they just happen to be here with millions of mutants rise as undead creatures hungry for human flesh.
Wow.
The X-Men return to Genosha in a tale so crazy it's taking the entire writing crew of the X-Men line to tackle it. Main cover on my side is by Mike McCone. The variant cover on Dom's side, it says that it's by Esad Ribic, but that does not look like Ribic at all, so I think that's incorrect. But those are the 2 open-to-order variants for Empire X-Men #1. That sounds interesting. Plant people, the X-Men have to go back to Genosha, the zombie X-Men.
We're going back to Phoenix stuff here.
Yeah.
Because it's with the people, the Kotati.
Yeah. So, again, Empire X-Men #1 of 4, FOC on Monday.
Oh, Nicky Milton was all over that.
Good.
Have it all!
So I want all. Just the X-Men, though? That's cool.
X-Men.
Next from Marvel and in stores on July 22nd, we've got Lords of Empire, Emperor Hulkling. This is just a one-shot. Destiny Fulfilled, the child of the Kree hero Marvel and Skrull Princess, how do you say that? Anelle? Annalie? Anelle? I don't know. Dorek the Eighth, known on Earth as Teddy, has spent years evading the clutches of both bloodthirsty empires. But now fate has caught up to him. The Kree and Skrull worlds are aligned, and only a man born of both can lead them. But what has led Hulkling to abandon Earth and the Avengers he's fought beside? And what will become of his fiancée, the hero Wiccan? Star writers Chip Zdarsky and Anthony Oliveira team up with artist Manuel Garcia for a can't-miss one-shot. Main cover on my side is by Pat Gleason. The variant cover on Dom's side is by Luciano Vecchio. This one-shot is $4.99. But again, if you are into all the Empire things, you're going to want to pick that up. Okay? That kind of wraps it up for Marvel, but not really. We'll see when #2 shows up. Okay, from Boom Studios this week comes Power Rangers Ranger Slayer #1.
Oh.
The Ranger Slayer, a.k.a. Kimberly Hart, the pink Mighty Morphin Power Ranger from the alternate universe once ruled by Lord Draken, returns home and nothing is like she expected. In a world that only knows her as a villain, can Kimberly show her universe that she's become a hero, and is that even the right thing to do? Confronted by a terrifying new vision of Rita Repulsa and her home in chaos, Kimberly will make a stunning choice that no Power Rangers fans can miss. This issue is also a perfect jumping-on point for new readers and sets the stage for the next Power Rangers epic. There are 3 open-to-order covers for this. The main cover right here is by Dan Mora, and it's fantastic. The variant cover on Dom's side is the Goni Montez foil variant, like they've been doing this whole time. There is a third variant called the spoiler variant that is going to arrive in a polybagged black bag because it features a new character on the cover. And not even Boom and Morgan would let us see who that character is. So if you're a Power Rangers nut and you're like, I am all in, make sure that you don't miss this book and maybe set yourself up with the black bag spoiler variant that we will have with a new character on the cover. Okay? Power Rangers Ranger Slayer #1. I don't know if this is taking the place of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers series as an ongoing title, or if it's just a mini-series. That I don't know.
No.
I'd have to find out. Finally, shut up, Siri. Zip it. From Dynamite this week comes a new Green Hornet series with a #1. From writer Scott Lobdell, who's written Flash and Uncanny X-Men, and artist Anthony Marquez from Vampirella and Red Sonja comes the return of the Green Hornet. Green Hornet and Kato have met their fair share of villains over the years, but when an alien infant crashes to Earth, the two heroes must keep him safe from a whole new type of nemesis. Are they prepared to take on a series of dark... What?
Never mind. I'm talking about Transformers.
A series of dark and deadly enemies willing to stop at nothing and do whatever it takes to save the child.
Oh. Yoda's in this.
It's Baby Yoda. Green Hornet, Baby Yoda. It's all green. Maybe it's E.T. I don't know what kind of baby child this is. But there's a whole slew of variants. Cover A on my side is the main cover by Lee Weeks. Cover B, it is good. Cover B on Dom's side is by Dave Johnson with a rainbow Kato doing some karate action there. Cover C down here on my side is by Mike McCone. Not a huge fan of that one.
Yeah, never mind.
It's just... Cover D on Dom's side is by Leonardo Romero. It's pretty cool. It's not bad.
It's a little throwback.
It's got a Tommy gun and a trench
This
coat.
one.
Dom likes Cover D a lot. Cover D right there is by the interior artist Anthony Marquez. So there you go. You just drop that mic.
That mic.
That's good. I like it.
Mic.
It's very Darwin Cook to me. That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
So, Green Hornet #1 on FOC. Okay, kids, this brings us to a segment that we like to call Who Does #2 Work For?
Who does #2 work for? Who
So gross.
does #2 work for?
That's right, buddy. You show that turd who's boss.
You show that turd who's boss. Who does #2 work for? It can work for you if you pay attention. This little segment we like to use to highlight issue #2s that you may have picked up a copy of #1, coming into the store. It might have been one of our no-risk #1 books. If you picked it up and read it and enjoyed it, let us know, because we always cut our numbers for #2, because we sell a ton of copies of #1 because everybody's excited about it, and then they read it, and then they forget to let us know that they would like it added to their subscription or just want to pull a copy, and so we chop numbers, and then we run out of copies, and people get sad. Yes. So that's why we use this segment to highlight issue 2s so that you're aware of things. And here we go again. We were talking about this earlier. Empire #2 is on FOC on Monday and in stores July 22nd. We're FOCing #2 before we have any sales information on #1, which sucks, pardon my French.
That's one thing the Lunar does
I hate
better.
it. Yeah. Three Avengers are trapped on the moon as war breaks out on Earth, and an ancient enemy reveals a scheme decades in the making. Meanwhile, the Fantastic Four fight against a creeping horror that might destroy them all, starting with a thing. Captain Marvel is their last best hope, but if Carol Danvers survives, what will she become? The main cover right there on my side is by Jim Chung. Variant cover on Dom's side is the John Tyler Christopher action figure 2-pack with a yoked She-Hulk hanging out there. We got the Tony Daniel, if you bump it up one line, we got the Tony Daniel Kree Skrull variant. I don't know who that is.
This is.
Same. On my side, on Dom's side, you have the Lozano Avengers variant. If you remember #1 had Thor on it. 2's got Cap on it. And then if we bump up one more line, we have the Michael Cho Fantastic Four. So there's going to be an Avengers variant and an FF variant for each issue of the 6. That one featuring Invisible Girl on #2. Let us know. Let us know if you'd like to get it on your poll. This one came out, I think, right before the week of the shutdown.
Yeah.
But if you're all in on the Dawn of X stuff, here is Hellions number 2, in stores July 22nd. The dominant species? ? The Hellions can barely keep from killing one another, let alone find a way to fit into Krakoan society. Of course, that might just be what Mr. Sinister is counting on when he sends them to clean up his messes. The cover that you see right there is by Steven Segovia, who is also the interior artist. So if you picked up Hellions number 1 in the long ago and read it and enjoyed it, let us know that you'd like to add it to your subscription, or at least pull a copy of number 2. This block of text right here is about Star Wars Dr. Aphra number 2, but I don't have an image for it, so thanks, Marvel. Dr. Aphra number 2 is in stores July 22nd. Beware the Mad City. Dr. Aphra and her new team have tracked the rings of Vale. I don't know how you say that. That's a good go, but Vale to a mysterious planet filled with primordial horror. What's worse, the rings may be cursed, a malediction that could already be tearing Aphra's crew apart. Will they escape the terror of the cursed planet with the precious rings, or succumb to the creeping madness pervading the ancient world? The main cover that you can't see is by Valentina Remenar. But again, if you picked up number 1 and enjoyed it, let us know if you'd like to pull a copy of number 2, or better yet, add it to your subscription. And finally, from Boom, we've got Wind number 2. This is the James Tynion and Michael Thealanis brand new series that Boom kind of rushed, I want to say, because they didn't follow typical initial order protocol, I guess. Protocol, etiquette and protocol. The bandaged man has returned to Pipetown to find any remaining magic and will eliminate it or them with extreme prejudice. But can Wind, with the help of Oakley, find a way to cure himself of his magical heritage, or has he put himself in even more danger than he ever imagined? The main cover, the only cover right there, is by Michael Thealanis. If you picked up Wind and enjoyed it, let us know. Let us know that you'd like to add it to your sub, or at least pull a copy of number 2 so that you can see where the story goes. Okay? And Mike's going to show up right now. Okay. Cameo of our UPS man. Okay, so that brings us to the end of the show. However, we have all of the books that are on FOC. They're again separated into 2 chunks because we have all of the DC stuff that we're FOCing from Lunar. And once you get through that, there's also a giant block of stuff that is from Diamond. Hi, Mike.
Hi. I got a friend with me today.
Oh, right on.
Gonna help
Hi,
me
friend.
out. Brian.
That's good.
What are you doing?
We're doing our FOC show.
Hi out there in Facebook land. It's your friendly neighborhood UPS driver.
Yes, it's Mike is responsible for all of the comics that come into the store, especially the damaged ones.
Yeah.
Jonathan,
Friendly
neighborhood UPS driver.
Spider-Man.
No.
Oh, damn.
That's Marvel.
No.
All right, so that's all the DC stuff.
So you see all the DC stuff. Then we have the giant block of everything else that is from Diamond, still carried by Diamond. You got Boom and Dark Horse and Dynamite and all that sort of stuff on there. And if you have questions about any of this stuff, what you can do is you can copy the item code from the Diamond stuff, not from the DC product, because
when we didn't have it was Dr. Aphra.
Dr. Aphra number 2. Let's see if they got that in, because it is.
Star Wars. Star Wars. There it is. Let's see if we can find
So we're going to walk you through it here.
So you're going to
Copy that item code, paste that sucker into a web browser of your choice, and the first thing that was going to pop up is going to be the Previews World listing for Star Wars Dr. Aphra. What the hell? It's not even on
It's not
there.
even on there.
I wonder if they changed the item code because of the COVID shutdown and the resolicits.
Possible.
But anyway, that's what you would do if you wanted to see or read more about the solicits for the products that are on FOC this coming Monday, June 29th.
Right.
Okay? Get us your orders by 11 o'clock on Monday, not 4, not 5. We're pushing the timeline up to 11 so that I have more time to get FOC done and prepped for the stream sale. And if you have questions, let us know. Feel free to message the store. We're here Monday through Saturday, 11 to 7. Sunday from 11 to 5. hojcomics@gmail.com, 303-484-9103. I'm John.
Dom.
You guys have a safe weekend and be kind to one another. We'll see you.